Welcome out west, folks. The pressure is on the Perth Wildcats with one game to go. Fourth spot is there for the taking. Adelaide can ruin the party. It's the Wildcats up against the Adelaide 36ers. This is going to be an absolute beauty here in WA.
Doolittle throws it down with a statement dunk. Humphrey climbs upstairs and throws it down with authority.
Quick pass, Cheatham again. Pocket pass,
There we go.
Hands off to Bryce. Straight away a shot. Straight away it goes through the hoop.
Making him work hard, but he still gets it done. Here's Cotton firing from the top of the key.
He's so hard to guard.
He really likes that matchup. He swatted away. They have stormed their way back in. Oh, dear me.
Cheatham wasn't having any of it.
Great to have your company inside the jungle. This is going to be a terrific night of basketball. It is the last game of the regular season and two arch rivals will go at it. Lockie Reading commentary alongside Damien Martin, Mark Worthington. I'm excited about this one. So much on the line, especially for Perth.
Massive game for the Wildcats. They do not want to slide down that ladder into fifth position. They know they've got to get a win, and despite Bryce Cotton being out, this is an incredible Adelaide 36ers uniform that want to go into finals basketball full of confidence, playing final-styled play. And so a lot on the line, both for the Wildcats and in regards to them preparing for the finals for Adelaide 36ers.
So they sit fourth at the moment, Wortho. A win guarantees them in fourth position, but a loss, it gets a little confusing, but they just can't afford to lose by pretty much more than 8.
Yeah, look, for the Perth Wildcats, anything but the top 4 finish would probably be a disappointment for this season. For the Adelaide 36ers, they've been riding high for a long period of time now and sort of haven't been playing their best basketball at the back end of the season. With Bryce Cotton out, this is a real good opportunity for them to try out a few new things. They've got the Ignite Cup again on Sunday. And then we roll into finals, so it's right at our doorstep right now.
Let's talk about the road to the championship because you boys know all about how to win a championship. It's an intriguing one, isn't it? Do you like the playing game? Do you like this situation as we build up towards what hopefully will be a great semi-final and grand final series?
Absolutely massive fan of it. Just means more basketball that we can watch at home. Incredible talent out there on the floor. And I love the second chance opportunity for both the Perth Wildcats and South East Melbourne Phoenix. And as you see it on your screen there, there's a lot to dissect. But the reality is for Melbourne or Tassie, one of them is going home if they lose that game.
So we're predicting at the moment that the Cats get the job done on that graphic. So it is intriguing, and there is one man that makes it a little easier for the Perth Wildcats to get the win, or does it, Wortho? Because they would have spent a long time studying Bryce Cotton this week.
Yeah, look, I walked into tonight's game and I was surprised not to see both you guys in black and mourning, not watching your favourite player play. But Bryce Cotton is obviously one of those special talents that we've had in the league for a while, and to me, I'd much rather be underprepared for a team without Bryce Cotton than being overprepared for a team with Bryce Cotton, because at any night, at any stage, he can win you a match. So the Wildcats will be feeling quite comfortable, quite easy, but they have to flick the switch now to make sure that they turn it on without Bryce Cotton playing.
Let's hear from their coach. His name is Mike Wells.
Mike, a big game, end of the season. No Bryce Cotton tonight, but an opportunity for people like Josh, people like DJ. What are you taking out of tonight's game?
Well, yeah, it's just that. It's an incredible opportunity. We want to give it all the respect that it deserves. Obviously a hard place to play and to end the season, and you know, we'll expand some roles, and some guys will get different looks, and you know, we'll be able to get some things a little different look, a little different lineup combinations, and you know, we really want to play well. You want to end the season the right way.
Yeah, Flynn Cameron has been in the most improved conversation, and for my liking, up the top of it as well. His leadership's going to be needed more with Bryce out on the court. Has there been a conversation with Flynn about how he handles tonight?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Flynn's had an outstanding year. Super excited about him, not only this year, but going forward. And, you know, that's part of this growth thing. And we put him and Bryce together for the next couple of years in that backcourt, and you're going to see a lot of minutes with those two together here in the future. But yeah, it's an opportunity for Flynn to kind of slide over to the point guard spot, handle the ball a lot more, and be able to lead the team. You know, there's a lot more than just dribbling the ball up the floor and getting you into offense, but we've got to get guys certain shots. We've got to get them the ball on time, on target, and you know, he'll have an opportunity to do some different things, and he's going to guard multiple different positions for us too.
Last one, there's been so much talk about the Bryce and KD, but for the basketball purists, we get a chance of looking at Doolittle versus Island. What does that matchup mean for you guys?
Well, it's a tremendous matchup. Two really good players. I mean, they're kind of different, kind of the same, but two, lead dogs in the room, so to speak, right? Alpha males in there, and they lead their teams, and they lead in different ways. They're quiet, and, Z does a whole bunch of things for us, and Doolittle does a lot. So, it's a really intriguing matchup. We'll have to throw multiple bodies at Doo to just, hopefully try to influence him in the certain areas. But he's going to get to his shots, and he's going to get to his spots. And, Zylan's going to quarterback our team, and he handles a lot. And, he rebounds, and he defends, and he does a lot of different things for our group.
Good luck tonight.
All right, thanks, guys.
Let's get stuck into the game. All reports, Bryce Cotton with a back injury, fell off his wallet, apparently.
Straight into it
early.
And we're underway. Flynn Cameron starts us off as the fan stand. Last game of the regular season. And this is going to be a crack-up. Adelaide will certainly want to spoil the party, and a great start too. A little backdoor action for John Jenkins.
Well, we heard earlier with Mike Wells, it's going to give other players opportunity to step up with the absence of Bryce Cotton. So I'm intrigued to see who that might be from the Adelaide 36ers.
Here's Joe Luala-Chul working hard up against Humphries. Cheatham will take the boards. Adelaide 36ers. Damo, just in case. I'm not sure the team is. Here's DJ from outside three. Swish away. And this is always the case, isn't it? Sometimes you come in, there's a star player missing. and the opposition team starts really well.
I'll take it from here.
Thanks, mate.
I mean, it was always going to be the case tonight, and with Bryce not being there, it was always going to be a bit more opportunity for both DJ and for Jenkins, and coming out, the first two players going for him made a whole lot of sense.
A basket won't go for Ben Henschel, who obviously missed the game against the Sydney Kings, but he's been a good player since pretty much David Duke Jr. went down. Henschel's been superb in the guard position. DJ's up and about. He's loving the early action in this game. This is a great start. 7-zip. Adelaide's on fire. Perth fans desperate for a basket so they can just relax for a time being. This one might be a chance for them. No, basket won't go. Cheatham again. Falls to the ground but holds on to it. Keeps it to his team's advantage.
John really was pleading with the referee there for goaltending, but I think the right call was made. That was never going in.
And another 2 points. It's 9-zip. John really wants a timeout to talk to his team. Super start from the visitors. No Bryce Cotton, no worries. And a tangerine timeout coming our way. What's happened here? Perth just asleep at the moment.
Well, unfortunately, this is what sort of happens when the star player is out for the other team. You take a collective breath, and instead of coming out and putting your foot down and making a statement, it can sometimes go the other way. And what Adelaide's done is they've got involved, all 4 or 5 of their starters involved early, and have made basically a couple of good layups, an open three-pointer, and the Wildcats are just asleep at the wheel.
So we'll be keeping an eye on the live ladder throughout this game, but I reckon right now with it 0-9, Cats are in 5th position, because I think it was if they scored less than 86 or 87 points, they needed to lose by no more than 8, and if it was over that, lose by 9. So at the moment, Melbourne United sitting there going, well, we're a chance for 4th position.
Well, you're essentially starting the game from scratch, 0-0, and now they've got to win from here on out, because you're spot on. They do not want to drop down the ladder and take away that home court advantage once it comes to the finals basketball. So when you know when a coach is calling a timeout less than 2 minutes into a game, things are going your way.
Big crowd in the house too. This is one of the biggest crowds we've had all season over here in Perth. Everyone would have bought the ticket thinking that Bryce was going to be out there on the court. As we now wait to see whether the Wildcats can score a basket. It's a little bit of a foul off the ball, Flynn Cameron. Let's go courtside to the man at the moment. Unfortunately not playing, but he's resting up. Annalie Maley's got Bryce Cotton.
Yeah, here with the man himself. How close were you playing tonight? Was it a game day decision?
Yeah, it was a game time decision. Tried everything we could to get it going, but just wasn't quite there.
And you'd be happy with the start from your team? What is it looking like right now?
I mean, yeah, couldn't ask for a better start. We're moving the ball. we're not really dribbling it too much, and we're getting open looks, so I can't complain.
Lastly, when are we expecting to see you back?
Y'all don't worry about me. Just enjoy this game today.
He'll be back Sunday. No, don't worry about that. There's a big game on the line on Sunday as well as the pass inside a little firm for Isaac Humphries.
I was wondering where my gold necklace had gone. Looks like BC stole it when he left the Wildcats.
You couldn't afford it.
No, mine's from Bali. Do not test it.
Henschel trying to work to his team's advantage. Now down to the post it goes. Nawala look outside. Ben Henschel will have to go himself. He had two defenders coming at him. He'll get the rebound. Came off some hands. Good hands, though, from Cameron. So they're a mess at the moment, the Wildcats. There'll be a change soon, you would think. Jenkins shoots for three. Can't make it go.
Well, for the Wildcats, it's ugly offense at the moment. There's a lot of one-on-one instead of balls through the hands and trying to make something happen through moving the ball. And I think Adelaide's done a really good job of setting a double in the post. We've seen it with JLA multiple times, and now we've seen it with Doolittle as well.
Quick pass to Whitlock, runs into a little bit of trouble. Flynn Cameron's defence was good on that occasion. To Pepper, they desperately need this, and Pepper still can't make it go. So we've travelled 3 and a bit minutes with no score for the Cats, and this Adelaide team are up and about. That one swatted away, though. It's 9-zip at the moment. 6:34 remaining before quarter time.
Now, I played a lot of basketball and I've come to a lot of games just as a spectator. Am I correct in saying that normally the Red Army stands until we score?
Yes.
Can you remember a time where they sat down prior to a Wildcat score? Because they are on their bumps. They're back on their seats. I don't think I've ever seen the Red Army sit down before they've seen at least 2 points go through the basket.
No, very true. Very true.
I can't remember him going 3.5 minutes without scoring as well, so with the timeout included.
Well, they're hoping the change with David Duke Jr. might result in some points put on the board. He's subbing back in, and there was a lot of question marks around who will JR start when Benny Henschel and David Duke Jr. are both fit at the same time.
Well, Henschel's season, or half season, has been superb. He's coming off a couple of games where he's 12-5-5, 17-9-6, 14-5-9. So there's some good stats for a point guard and a youngster at that.
Yep.
It's a couple of misses. Here's Pepper. The cheeseburger code is crunch. It's about the only thing the Wildcats fans can cheer about, because there's another miss at the other end.
I'm getting the ball into Christian Doolittle's hands saying, you are our best player. You've only got one shot attempt right now. We are scoreless. Do whatever you would like.
6 remaining now. White works his way inside the key. That one off target. Pepper wanting to get it up the court as quick as possible to Wagstaff. He'll back in. Moves his feet well. And the old fella does the job for the Cats.
I'll retract my statement, don't worry about Doolittle. Get the ball into Wagstaff. Been there, done it.
The defence getting a little better from Perth. There's a travel there. They need to put some points on the board as well. So Cheatham will have a break. Kosovic will come onto the courts.
Credit to the Wildcats, though, since that timeout was called by John Riley, they have held Adelaide scoreless. So whilst they're struggling at the offensive end themselves, at least they're finally getting into a stance and getting some stops.
Here's Wagstaff again, off the glass. Jesse says, just leave it to me, guys. I'm in control of this game.
I don't remember. When was the last time Jesse Wagstaff scored the first 2 baskets for the Perth Wildcats? It had to be when we were playing, Damo.
It was probably back when he had his most previous dunk, other than 5 years ago. Now, this season he's dunking, he's getting on the scoreboard. He just knows the moment. In all seriousness, he knows how important it was for the Wildcats, his teammates, to see the ball go through the hoop. Feels good seeing the first one go down and said, let's go again.
And he's probably unlucky not to get a foul on that as well.
Yep.
He might have got away with the trouble as well, but we won't talk about that.
In the last couple of games, he's chalked up 14 minutes, which is good numbers, isn't it, for, what is he, how old is he, Damo? Like 39?
38.
38, okay. Kosovic.
Oh, correction, you're right, 39.
Yeah, 39. Thanks, mate.
I forgot that I'm 41.
I thought he was your mate. Oh, you found my pass. Where's my pass? I lost my pass, folks, before the game, which meant I can't get around the arena, and it's just been dropped on the desk.
Tell the truth, Locks. What was the outcome? You called me and said, can you please bring me a burger and chips?
Some burgers and chips, as if I need some burgers. But anyway, it was a Hungry Jack's burger as well, which is very nice. Good start. That's better from Pepper.
It's something that he practices in the pre-game. There's a lot coming out of the corner. And when he gets his feet set like that, he's a really nice shot. And Jesse Wagstaff with another steal.
He has stolen it again. Jesse going all the way. No, the 2 points that he scored, though, yep, by Wagstaff.
6 points.
6 points.
6 points, a steal, an assist. You talk about a reliable teammate. None better than the skipper. Incredible timeout getting him into the game so early. And he's showing his coach why he backed him in as he goes to the bench now and put Joe Luella back out. And listen to that ovation as Wagstaff does go to the bench.
He's worn out as well. Good minutes from Jesse Wagstaff. Joe Luella back on. It's back to 9-all.
I'm dirty if I'm Jesse. That's the closest I'm going to get to a heat check for the rest of my career. And you're taking me out after 2 minutes.
Glenn Cameron, what a season he's had. He has just been a star. And he was a star in the game here at ROC Arena earlier this year when Adelaide stormed back from 25 points down as Pepper shoots. Can't make it go, but finished off by Aquera. Cats with a spring back in their step, and they needed it. Vukocevic, fake pass is good. Little dummy there.
Really nice pass by Vukocevic, and the value of having someone who can not only stretch the floor but make passes like that in the short roll, really valuable for Adelaide.
Here's Aquera, pass to Doolittle. Hasn't scored as yet until now. Drops a 3, and the Cats in the lead for the first time. Here's White. Looks outside, Kenyon there. Jenkins as well. He puts it on the floor. Top of the key. He was off balance though. Just couldn't make it go, and Aquera very keen to get it into the front court. Now he's got himself some troubles. Pepper, long way out, tempted. Duke Jr. in the corner. They're on a roll now, the Cats. Adelaide need a timeout. Roller coaster ride here at RAC Arena. 3 to go. It's 17-13.
Great pass out of that double team by Aquera, and then unselfish play to make the extra David Duke Jr. But on cue, Lockie Reed, you called for Christian Doolittle to score. He knocks down a 3, and then they back it up with an extra one.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to the game on the weekend, the Ignite Cup for Adelaide. This is the Tangerine timeout, of course. And 17-13 the score when it was 9-zip to start the game. Disney Plus, they're looking after us. It's been terrific to have them on board, of course. All roads lead to Gold Coast. Don't miss the Hungry Jacks Ignite Cup presented by Disney Plus. And, of course, get your subscription because they got some good shows. I'm a big fan, Damo, of Disney Plus.
What's your favourite cartoon, Lockie?
My favourite cartoon is Superman, mate. I don't know.
Moana.
It's
Come
not
to
all
mind. There's
just
a good chance
cartoons
Moana's playing.
I thought Frozen would be playing at your place.
Oh, a lot of Frozen. Let it go.
But they have more shows than just cartoons on Disney. You got some rippers. Jeepers. Let's go to Annalie Maley, who is courtside.
Just listening into the Adelaide timeout just then, it was all about steadying the ship. He drew up a play and then said, but guys, relax. We're good. Take a breath. Slow down. If we rebound and do the things we spoke about pre-game, we're going to be fine. But everyone looks a little bit rattled, and he wanted his team to slow down.
Glenn Cameron's got a bit of blood on his shorts, and so he walked out of the timeout and has been told, and he's done the quick change. Damo, you would have done that a few times.
A little bit of blood.
Bit of claret, plenty of that over the course of my career, but I'm glad they're letting him back on.
You're like the Joel Selwood. You'd walk onto a court and start bleeding automatically.
So here's White. The pressure has stepped up a touch from the Cats. And Adelaide have been slowed down. Good pass though, and that was a big basket, and Jesse's come down pretty hard.
Great execution out of the timeout, great play drawn up. But Jesse, you're right, got a little one to the chin, but good finish there.
It was a good finish for Vukocevic. He's down the other end though, trying to defend Duke Jr. Did a good job, put the shot off. Fast ball movement at the moment as Cameron wants to take on Joe Luella-Chul. Now to the post again. The big man backing himself in with a little bit of extra height. Good feet movement on that occasion, but in the end, Joe Luala-Chul will take the board.
Oh, I think the Wildcats were lucky to get away. I thought there was a clear foul there and there should be some free throws instead. The Wildcats have the ball and they'll try and convert down this end.
Here's Wagstaff. What a start to his game. He sees DJ in front of him and has it stripped out of his hands. Tries to keep it in play. He's down on the court. It's Rakocevic down the other end. He's had a bright start to his game coming off the bench.
Well, he's a bit of an impact player for Adelaide. He needs to be. They lack height at the best of times, and with no ice on the court and no Zylan Cheatham, it gives him the ability to be a little bit more aggressive offensively.
Luala-Chul short. Climbs up above. Pulls the rebound in again. 17-17. Doolittle taking on Kenyon. The pass a little loose though. Junior had to go and get it. He drew the foul. Little pump fake. And had the big man jumping in the air, so he'll go to the line.
And a smart player as well. When the shot clock's running down like that, sometimes if you've got the ability to slow down and take your time, defense is just as much trying to have a stop at that end of the clock situation. So being able to make that jump off the ground, get off their feet, lean into them a little bit, it's an easy way to get yourself to the line for an easy two.
And only the 4 total fouls for the game so far. It has been fast-paced. So I think the players on the court need to rest as much as anything.
Well, I was going to say before, Damo, the physicality that we're seeing right now is something that we will see in a final. So for both of these teams, this is a really good opportunity for them to get acclimatised to this sort of style of play that they're going to come up against come finals, because you and I both know Lockie doesn't, but the physicality does go to another level when you get to finals, and as a defender, you're allowed to get away with a little bit more.
What would you know, mate? I guarded Rupert Sapwell back in the day at school. He had me on 4 fouls within about 5 minutes of the game. I had to sit for the rest of it. He was a big man back then.
He would have shot it off the backboard as well.
Yes. 19-17 the score. A little over a minute remaining. DJ will take the inbound. Knocked back playing for the Boomers. DJ wanted to focus in on the Sixers finals campaign, so big call from him, but that would be fantastic to hear from the Sixer fans. As White turned it over and then got it back. The pass inside, Kenyon. DJ, long way out, turns, shoots, and can't make it go. Look at Wagstaff, continues to fight away. He's being inspirational at the moment.
I don't care if the Wildcats go on to win this game. Christian Doolittle might drop 30-plus points, but Wagstaff will have been the main reason, because it looked like the Adelaide 36 was going to build a double-digit lead. They sub him on. Now, he had a quick break, and they brought him straight back on, which is a rarity because he does like to go and rest up. Once he's had those 4 minutes Perth broken, he's gone out there, quickly renegotiated to go into his 18th season, and then suddenly back on, coach.
He draws the foul too. It'll be a inbound from the baseline. White called for that one. 19-17 the score. 45 remaining. He needs a sub. Jesse's just waving to the bench. Help me out here. Doolittle against Kenyon. Little step back. Shot a little firm. Cheatham always there for rebounds.
I know they've made a nice little run here, but I'm still not liking the offense from the Wildcats. Very one-dimensional at the moment.
Here's Doolittle. Pass outside. And an air ball from Benny Henschel. Had a week off and he missed by a long way on that occasion.
Well, the Wildcats have fouls to give if they want to use one in a smart manner. Otherwise, Adelaide 36 is going to try and run down the clock.
Here's White. Henschel will be called for that one.
I don't think he deliberately tried to foul him on that one, Damo, but it worked out well for the basketball IQ people in this world. And all it does is make sure that Perth can now set up their defence and would be well scouted and knowing exactly what Adelaide's going to do on their sideline out-of-bounds situation.
The inbound. Rakocevic for 3. Short, nearly rebound in the ends. Through a few hands. And the Cats work their way back in. At a sluggish start, Adelaide were up and about early, but it's a 2-point ball game here at RAC Arena, the home team leading the way. Two points is the margin here at RAC Arena. The Perth Wildcats were a horrible starters. It was 9-0. Adelaide on fire, even without Bryce Cotton in the team. But the Cats worked themselves back into the game, inspired by their veteran in Jesse Wagstaff. The second quarter underway. Annalie Maley is listening to both huddles, and Annalie, Jesse has been an inspiration for his team.
I just want to say, he knew that Bryce wasn't playing, and he said, these 13,000 people here, I'm going to give them something to watch. The crowd is on their feet for Jesse Wagstaff, not Bryce Cotton. But yeah, look, the main message out of the huddle from really there was that he needed some more effort plays. He's like, don't take plays off. We need to keep them off the glass and keep doing what we need to do and not take a step back.
Absolutely, Aquera drops a 2. Also had a great season. The last couple of weeks has just slowed down a touch as they go more to JLA and more minutes for him.
Yeah, it's been his best season today, in particular since joining the Perth Wildcats. And you mentioned the Boomer selection earlier, and credit to David Aquera, who's been rewarded with a green and gold uniform.
Absolutely, that one came off the foot of the player. It'll still be an Adelaide ball.
Imagine if we got a Wagstaff MVP chant tonight.
Yeah. There he is, Jesse. He's had a dunk a couple of weeks ago. And now he's up and about. Here's DJ. A little firm for that shot. Maybe it was the inspirational chat you had with him pre-game. I saw you down there.
I can guarantee it was not that rocky.
Pass inside. Too little. Underneath. He gets the foul but can't make the basket go.
I think we speak about it every time we do a game, but his patience down in the low block and that mid-post is like no one else that we have in this league. And he got swarmed by 5 people there, but still found a way to use his pivots correctly, take his time and find his gap to go up and get fouled.
Is he third in the MVP race? Does he sit just behind Davis and
Sobey? I think Sobey might split that.
Yeah. So he's fourth.
I've got him as fourth.
You got him as fourth.
Now may I quickly just brag as a father, because you mentioned the conversation. I do go and catch up with Jesse on the bench before the other boys come out to warm up. And you know what we were actually talking about, Locke?
Your kids, I'm sure.
Well, it was about the kids, and in particular his daughter, Kensington Wagstaff, got a merit certificate today, and she's in the same class as my daughter, Maggie, and she got selected to be a school counsellor. So,
Maggie did?
Yeah. Maggie,
Oh, very exciting.
Well done, Kens and Maggie.
Well done.
She has promised extended recesses and free burgers.
Yeah,
but
that's it. She's got to deal with Hungry Jacks as DJ. He's shooting tonight, there's no doubt about that. Tap down to the advantage of Windler. Doolittle. Jenkins stands him. Wagstaff wants to hand it off. Time ticking away, 4 on the shot clock. Doolittle will have to wield some magic. Takes it to the hoop, missed it completely, and didn't even touch the ring, so it'll be an Adelaide ball.
Hey, Damo, we'll talk about Bryce and what he means to this team, but I see a lot of similarities at times with this Adelaide team and what Perth have looked like in the last couple of years, where they rely really heavily on Bryce. You've been a part of the Wildcats for a long period of time, and there's sometimes droughts if he's not getting it going. How did you guys work your way through it?
Well, he's obviously not out there altogether, so we used to use him as a decoy a lot to get others involved. With him sitting on the bench out injured, it comes down to going to some of your go-to plays that you've been practicing all season where he wasn't involved. So instead of playing isolation basketball, which is usually Bryce's style of play, Eddie's trying to get through some steps, try and get through hands. Bryce got interviewed 3 minutes into the game, and one of the first things he said about his teammates out there is the ball is barely hitting the floor. Their passing was incredible, their screening, their timing. Instead, they seem to have gone away from that just a little.
Some ball movement here. Emily will be keeping an eye out as the pass inside was to Wagstaff. It was off target. He's a little frustrated there was no foul. Now, David Aquera came off just before, and he's headed down into the room, so Emily will be keeping an eye on him. Hopefully it's nothing too major, but when you do go into the rooms, it certainly is a concern.
Yeah, and we just credited him with the selection with that Australian Boomer, so not only does he want to be out there tonight to make sure that the Wildcats can hopefully lock in 4th spot, he's also got his eyes towards a week's time when he's going to be out there representing the Boomers.
22-17 is the score, 7:20 remaining before half-time. Perth needing to win to get themselves into the top 4. Adelaide, not a lot on the line for them, just this is match practice really. Top 2 is theirs. They've worked hard and done really well this season. The fans have enjoyed this season. If you're an Adelaide 36er fan, you would be absolutely pumped with what's ahead.
Oh, it's been brilliant. And we can talk about Bryce as long as we would like, but the reality is it's been a team effort, and at different times players have stepped up. The last time these two teams faced off here at RAC Arena, it was this man with ball in hand who made the game-winning play after the 36ers were down as many as 25 points during that one, but went on to win it.
Yep, absolutely. Set a superb season as the crossover's good. Shot even better from Pepper.
I think off the back of that conversation, a lot of credit has to go to Matt Weston and the roster that he's put together in Adelaide this year. And, you know, Adelaide, you look at it last season and we're known as being a bit of a basket case. You look at the people that they've brought into the system this year, real pros, no-nonsense sort of guys. Flynn Cameron, one guy that I've already spoken about, is MIP contention. I've known Flynn for a long period of time. His dad was an assistant coach for me at the Gold Coast in Pero Cameron, and both Flynn and Tobias, both twins, always running around, always had a ball in their hand. It's great to see him playing the level that he's playing at right now.
So we talked about the Wildcats and that 9-zip start as JLA tried to keep it in. Here's Pepper, did really well. Pass was a tricky one, stolen out of the hands of Windler. So Adelaide haven't scored in the first 4 minutes of this quarter as well. They finished quarter time on 17, so it's an intriguing battle at the moment. The Cats have stretched it out to 10. Cheatham just bustles his way through and says, get out of my way.
Well, great move. Saw the matchup with Jesse and decided instead, I can go around you if I want, but I can go through you too, and just used his muscle to go up for a nice little basket.
Pepper feeling it from the corner, right in it. Slots it in.
Another guy with the Boomer selection should be noted, and his shooting has been exceptional. Everyone knew that he could shoot the ball, but what's impressed me about him this season is his defense and his willingness to want to play defense this year.
None of this down the other end for Adelaide, 30-19. Big Joe getting aggressive, wants some points. He's just off target at the moment, Joe Lualachul, just the 2 points. Down the other end, Jenkins defended well by Wagstaff, no foul calls. Well, Joe's 1 of 5 from the field. Henschel had an air ball earlier on, and he's really off target as it'll be a Wildcats ball. A bit of holding going on.
Jesse's dead.
He is. This is Pepper. Great crossover, slots the 3 there. There was another one in the corner as well for Elijah Pepper. There it is there, the Amy replay. He is absolutely smoking right now, coming off a 14-10 game against the Kings.
I don't think we're going to see Jesse for the rest of the half. I think he's done. He's got a well-deserved rest, but yeah, he's cactus right now.
If he had a white towel, he would have thrown it in. He needs a breather and a well-earned one of that. Incredible minutes by the veteran.
It has been extraordinary, hasn't it, really?
Now it's on Adelaide. Now it's on Adelaide to respond, because Bryce Cotton isn't going to be out there for 40 minutes a game during semi-finals and potentially grand finals with how many games they play and how quick the turnaround is, despite him potentially being the fittest player in the NBL.
Here's Cameron. Did well to get past his defender. After getting some early minutes for the Perth Wildcats.
It's a really tricky position for a coach, especially when you get yourself a bit of a lead and you can rest your star players a little bit. That the guys that come on, you know, obviously they want to continue the momentum, but you don't want to give Adelaide that much momentum going into half-time. So it'll be a decision for really how are you going to end this quarter to see what sort of lead that they've got.
Jim Cameron with 1 from 2. Shooting percentage from outside 3 is just 10% at the moment. They've shot a lot from outside the 3. 1 of 10 at this stage. They can experiment a little bit with finals secured. And the double chance as well, as Lualachul is having an absolute stinker tonight underneath the hoop.
He wouldn't hit water if he fell out of the boat at the moment.
Here's Cheatham. That one just rattled around. He just couldn't finish the play. There'll be a foul, though, if there was called for that one. So Cheatham will go to the line. Big crowd in attendance. They all came out, unfortunately, to see Bryce, you would have to think. And Bryce not playing, but still, they'll be cheering on their team. Look at it, right up to the top. They're packed in. This will be one of the biggest crowds we've seen in a regular season game for sure.
Probably as big since the last time Bryce was here.
Yeah.
They did set a record. But whilst they would have been disappointed not to see the number 11 show up for Adelaide, they also know how important this game is for their beloved Perth Wildcats, and they are trying to get behind them, and they needed them earlier in the game when they were struggling.
They're secretly really happy that number 11 isn't playing for the white team right now.
8 points that margin. Duke Jr. to Pepper. If they will shoot away and score the 3 big baskets. Nice one for him. Got the 3 on the boards. Aquera did come onto the bench as the Swalloways good from Joe Lualachul. Here's Pepper on the charge. Joe Lualachul this time. That's a little easier for him. Finger rolls good. Aquera, he returned to the bench, didn't have some shoes on, and now he's gone back down the tunnel. So serious concerns for him. And as you said, he's got the Boomers campaign as well, so hoping it's nothing major. There's a foul on JLA.
Well, JLA just did his best impersonation of MJ in Space Jam, taking off from a long way away and stretching out towards the basket. And you can tell that there was just a bit of a frustration foul that he gave up there. No need for it. wanted to lift the intensity, but sometimes intensity can be mistaken for poor timing on defense. Because anytime you have a team that is struggling to score offensively and you put them on the free throw line, it's basically easy points for them if they make them.
Another miss here for Adelaide. They're struggling from the stripe as well. 42%. He gets the second though. Here's Wagstaff, sitting at 12 at the moment, the margin. The Duke Junior. Nice to see him back. Injured himself in the game against Adelaide. Wagstaff for three. There is nothing this man can do.
It's the contract game. End of season, out of contract. Just letting everyone know he can still go around for one more year.
Look at him go, and he's defending his heart out at this stage. Rakocevic, though, too tall, and scores the two. Well, he wants to dribble the ball up the court as well, Wags. Some fancy moves. Pepper for the two. My goodness me. That was tricky stuff from Elijah Pepper. It's 15 points now for Perth. Rakocevic again. He's getting some nice minutes here. A little bit of confidence in his game with the playoffs just around the corner, and it'll be a foul against Duke Junior. Just wrapped him around.
And credit to White. Since he's subbed on, he's picking up full court every time. He's trying to disrupt David Duke Jr.'s timing and rhythm, but we've got to take a look at this replay. A lot to love from Elijah Pepper on this move. The hesitation, the crossovers, the footwork.
Those are the moves that you do at training, and you're like, I wish this opportunity would present itself in a game, and it never does, but it did on that occasion for Elijah Pepper.
Back to 13. Flynn Cameron shooting, scoring, big baskets. And we've got another timeout for the Perth Wildcats. Back to 10. They're hovering. Look at Bryce up and about, encouraging his teammates as he sits with a back injury. Tangerine timeout coming your way. Thoughts at the moment?
Oh, look, it's been a ebbs and flows. So obviously Adelaide got the start that they would have dreamed of. Then it's been a lot majority of Perth Wildcats, but 10-point margins, absolutely nothing when you've got the amount of talent out there that Adelaide 36ers do.
All righty, all roads lead to the Gold Coast. Don't miss the Hungry Jacks NBL Ignite Cup presented by Disney+. We're excited about this one. It's on the Gold Coast, Feb 22. You don't want to miss the Adelaide 36ers, New Zealand. They're battling it out for the inaugural championship, taking home a massive $300,000. And you can get your tickets through Ticketek. Make sure you do if you're on the Gold Coast, or you want a bit of a trip up to the Gold Coast or across from Perth as well. Go and have a bit of a sneak peek. You're a man that's a big fan of the Gold Coast.
I spent a couple of seasons up in the Gold Coast. It was probably the most tanned I ever played in the NBL. Which isn't saying much for me, let's be honest.
Annalie Maley's courtside.
Listening to the Adelaide timeout just then, he was talking about the creativity offensively being lacking, saying that it's too one-dimensional, and he wants to be able to look at the other options. If something's being cut off, it means something else is open. Defensively, they want to attack certain players on the floor. He said, well, why don't we go at Wagstaff when we get someone on the perimeter? So I'd be surprised if we didn't see that the next offensive possession for them.
Good on you, Annalie. 9 points for Jesse Wagstaff. His season high in 30 games was just 5. And that was against Adelaide back in round 11 here at RSC Arena. So he's having a season high here in this important game for the Perth Wildcats.
Rakocevic did not want to get subbed out there. We saw Isaac Humphries jumping off the bench to get subbed in, but player 1, coach 0.
And he's got a couple of fouls to his name, just the 2 at this stage.
I found it interesting, Damo, that this little run has come with their defensive unit. They've got Rasmussen on, they've got Matt Kenyon on, they've taken off the shooters, and Elijah Pepper is on one at the moment.
Here's Kenyon to White. 13 the margin. And there's a foul in there. Too little off the ball action.
The ones that the coaches hate, away from the ball, already in the bonus. and you give up a cheap one, puts them on the free throw line. They're struggling to score at the moment, and they've got to just continue just to play solid defense without fouling to hold them. If you can keep this Adelaide outfit to, 35 to 37 points by halftime, it doesn't matter what you're doing offensively, you're giving yourself the best chance to win.
Again, another great play drawn up out of the timeout. Rakocevic was about to get a little on big screen. Instead, Christian Doolittle tried running through the screen. But keep feeding that ball into Rakocevic. He is feeling it right now. Keep running plays for him. And you spoke about earlier, or asked the question, what do you do when Bryce Cotton's not out there? Just pick 2 or 3 of those plays out of your playbook. You don't have to show the whole arsenal, and just focus on really nailing those.
Hovering around 11 at the moment as Duke Jr. was off balance, but he somehow got a foul in there. And Isaac White was called for that one. He's got 2 as well to his name. There's no doubt they've cemented themselves in the top 2. They're now looking ahead to who comes their way as they charge towards the championship. And they're going to play some good minutes of the bench as well, because they're going to look after themselves for Sunday's game. It is an important game. It's an inaugural competition, and there's plenty of money up for grabs as well.
Well, when you play for money, you want to win. And I'm not surprised that Bryce isn't playing tonight, because look, if you've got a chance to put a little bit more change into the pocket, he's got a sore back from probably carrying the team majority of the year. I know I had 2 shoulder reconstructions myself. That's because I shot too much. It didn't mean it went in.
Adelaide brings some common sense into this commentary. What do you got for us?
I don't know if I could bring common sense to you guys. A bit of a loss. Just an update on Okwara. He's had some plantar fascia issues in his foot prior to this game, and it's just cleared up, but he'll be out for the rest of the game. We won't be seeing him again.
Good on Yanley as Rakocevic will just throw one up with a hook. Didn't go. John really wants a bit of speed on the ball at the moment. Duke Jr. looks to hand it off, decides now to shoot. Doolittle should take that forward. He's got 2 to compete with. Quick pass, Pepper. He is smoking it right now. Incredible start. 17 points for Elijah Pepper, the only player in double figures in this game.
That's 5 of 7 now from the 3-point line from Pepper. He's absolutely on fire, but hopefully the 36ers can get a basket before we go into half-time.
Cheatham attacks the hoop, rolls and drops in finally. Quick on the inbound, but won't go Perth's way. Good start for the Perth Wildcats. Elijah Pepper is leading the charge at the moment. They're 48. And Adelaide struggled in that term. Just the 17 points, so 17 in each of the quarters. They sit on 34 points. As we said, they're playing Sunday, Ignite Cup. Looking forward to seeing that inaugural grand final. Bryce Cotton should be playing in that one. But for the moment, let's head to Annalie Maley courtside.
I'm with the man who's had a very hot start to the game, 5 from 7 from the 3-point line right now. What does it feel like out there?
It's been good. Guys are getting me open looks, and that always helps. We just got to keep it going in the second half.
What was the message? Because you guys didn't have a great start. How did you come together as a team to kind of change that mindset?
Yeah, I think we were a little lackadaisical at the beginning. We were a little lazy, so to speak. I think that was kind of a wake-up call and a punch in the face, and we were able to bounce back and punch him back.
So what do you think the main point will be in this halftime break? The main keys going to the second half for you guys to keep this momentum?
Don't relax. Don't let up. We're up whatever it is right now, but we got to keep that momentum going and keep fighting.
Okay, best of luck. Thank you.
There he goes, Elijah Pepper with 17 points. The Perth Wildcats lead it by 14 at halftime here at RAC Arena. And this is all thanks to Choice Hotels, looking after us wherever you may be. Welcome back. 14 points is the margin here at RAC Arena, and this man has been on fire. Elijah Pepper was hot, hot, hot from the corner outside the three. Wherever he was shooting, he was dropping them in. And the Perth Wildcats control this game at halftime. Damien Martin, what stood out for you aside from Elijah?
Well, aside from Elijah, it's all about how Adelaide 36 is the team with the excuses. They're not playing for really anything. They've already locked in second spot, but they were the ones who came out with the energy and the effort. It took Jesse Wagstaff getting subbed in to get the Wildcats rolling, and then when Elijah Pepper got the ball, he took over. He was incredible, but the thing that stands out with me when it comes to statistics is the rebound count. The Wildcats are dominating on the boards, and that's a big reason why they're winning.
Well, thanks to Hungry Jacks, they look after us. Elijah Pepper, Adelaide, has been superb.
Yeah, 5 of 7 from the three-point line. He really provided that scoring spark that they needed off the back of some efforts from Jesse Wagstaff. He could just score from anywhere. All 3 layers, and his shot release is so quick. I don't know how you're supposed to guard him when he's playing like this.
Well, he's been superb, no doubt about it, and he's part of the Boomers as well, so it's going to be exciting to see him in action at that next level, were they?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's a good reward for his play and what he's been able to bring for the Wildcats this season. And Annalise is right. It is about the way that he goes about his business. He doesn't need a play run for him all the time, but he's always ready in the catch and shoot, ready to go. 5 of 7 from 3, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. He has clearly been the best player on the court so far.
There he goes, the Blackmores shot chart as well. Hey, let's go to you, because I know he's your best mate, Jesse Wagstaff. It was inspiring stuff to see him come on the court. His team was down 9-0. They have to win this game to make the top 4, and he comes on and he throws his 39-year-old body around.
Well, he's cool, calm and collected, but he would have been sitting on the bench at the start of that game going, boys, this is simply not good enough. So when he got subbed in early in the game, he took it upon himself to make sure he set the tempo and made sure the energy got to a level that is required to win NBL games. He has been brilliant in the first half. The box score may not reflect what he's actually meant to this team to make sure they not only got into the game, but have taken the lead.
All right, Annalie, as we watch the end results of Jesse Wagstaff's first half, the road to the championship. You're part of a potential championship winning team, but it's all about the NBL at the moment. This is intriguing. Perth have to win tonight. Adelaide, well, they're there. They know they can take out the title.
But that's where the danger is. Like, you can't, at this point in the season, take a game off, because then what habits creep in? What are you then like putting into your team that you're going to take into the important games? And then obviously, as you said, must-win game for Perth. They didn't start the game like it was a must-win game, but Jesse Wagstaff then came in and said, guys, we need to perform like we are playing for our lives right now.
It's a big crowd here at RAC Arena. The second half coming your way. The Wildcats leading it by 14.
Meninga.
The best highlight of the night!
So I asked the producer, hey, just get out and see what Pete's rolling into the game with, and I was shocked to find out what you were.
And 3.8 seconds, you can get a lot done in that amount of time as well.
Tell me about it. Certainly can. 95-90. The New Zealand Breakers lead the Sydney Kings.
Youngster can't score. Walker hit one from halfway at Hoops Fest almost. Got it again! Time for Rain Smith to fire away. Making it rain on a Wednesday night in Cairns.
And Casey Prather definitely got an evil eye from me just for standing up and taking a couple steps in that direction because the knee brace just came off. Don't stand up. You're not going to do anything. Go sit down and stay out the way.
Society just really taking this one over.
Kendrick Davis just wants to take the two, and he got it away in time.
We found some vision of you playing against him. Have a look at this.
Going to be, here we go. Stitch me up.
So this is you. You shoot a guy. And, no, the knee. Come on, Combs. Get up, Combs. Get up.
I'll take that.
He gets inside, tosses it up to the big fella who delivers again.
It's been a lot of fun, no doubt about that. The guys have enjoyed it, and we're looking forward to Sunday's big game, Ignite Cup, coming your way. Sunday, 4:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. It is the Adelaide 36ers up against the New Zealand Breakers. Should be an absolute beauty.
Oh, those two men we just saw on screen then, Bryce Cotton and Parker Jackson-Cartwright, two of my favourite players in the league and two of the most fun to watch. They'll be battling it out with a lot of money on the line.
Speaking to Bryce over the last couple of years when he was here in Perth, Jackson was one of his favourite players. Like, he just talked about him all the time, just how good he is. So that'll be a great matchup, and Bryce hopefully will be all good to go on Sunday.
There he is, the man on the screen, unfortunately out tonight with a minor back injury. It was a game day decision, and obviously had results gone differently last night. I think we would have seen him out here tonight, but knowing they've locked up second position, they're playing it safe. They know how important he is moving forward.
All right, second half coming your way. So Adelaide started the game on fire. They were 9-zip to get us underway, and then from then on it's been the Wildcats 48, the 36ers 25. A lot of their bench has played in that time as well. They are spreading the minutes, and they have been shooting a lot from outside the three as well. I think they've pulled up a fair few threes. Oh, they're 6 of 10, is that right? No, they're 2 of 11, 6 of 10 from free throw line. Here's Cheatham. Doolittle standing, waiting for him. Pass off to Jenkins will come out of his hands and out of court. Be a Perth ball.
I think for Adelaide, this second half is about how do I get Jenkins involved, how do I get DJ involved, how do I get Zylan Cheatham involved a little bit more. And Isaac Humphries has had a very quiet game to this point as well. So there's a couple of their key players that they would like to get a few shots, get them feeling good before Sunday's game.
Windler also very quiet. He hasn't scored as yet, Dylan Windler. None of 2 from the field. Cheatham up against Windler. Powers his way in towards the hoop. Goes for the boards. It'll be a bit of a wrestle now, and it's a foul, is it, on Windler?
Well, we talk about Windler being quiet offensively. If you look at the Wildcats starting 5, you know, Windler, Henschel both haven't scored, Doolittle with 4 and Joe Luala-Chul with 4. It's been all Elijah Pepper at this stage, and thank God he's been here to do this for the Wildcats, because the Wildcats will find themselves in a bit of trouble at this stage had it not be for his offensive output in the first half.
Well, 23 of their 48 points have come from bench points. So you combine Pepper, Wagstaff and the likes from the bench. They're the big reason why they do currently have a 12-point margin.
So Doolittle looks to hand it off to Windler. Back to Doolittle. Now Pepper, straight in front. There it goes again.
A good offense for the Wildcats, and Doolittle with a mismatch down the post, waited patiently for the double to come around. Poor rotation from Adelaide on that. There's one person you know that's going to shoot the ball well at the moment, it's Elijah Pepper. They had to have more scramble from the weak side.
That one misses. Cheatham did well, attacked it nicely, kept it to Adelaide's advantage. Pepper averages 10 a game, 25 in late Jan was his best performance. It was an absolute ripper here at RSC Arena. Starting something similar here as he gets free, tempted to shoot, gave it off though, Doolittle. Great passing game, and JLA love that sort of action. Delay of game on Christian Doolittle.
Well, this is the beauty of Doolittle and the style of play that he has. It's not only can he score points, but he's really good at putting the ball on the floor and making the extra pass when need be.
(53-36) that score. Pass inside, cut off by Doolittle. Now to JLA, trying to get some confidence in him. And he drew the foul. Isaac Humphries called for that one.
And it hasn't been his night so far, but credit to JLA. He's running hard, ring to ring. He's trying to get those deep steals. He hasn't necessarily been rewarded so far, but he keeps consistently running hard, which makes sure the defense has to flatten out.
The big man slots his first.
And this is a little bit different to what we usually see. Usually it's a very heavy post feeds into JLA in the first half. We didn't see that in the first half of this game. But what we're seeing in the second half is definitely making him the priority down in the post.
And he drops both, which is not normal for JLA. Usually just gets the one of two. He'd be happy with himself. Humphries, Jenkins. Cameron looks to hand it off. It came out of his hands. Pepper. There's a bit of reaching in, DJ. Called for the foul.
Well, I've got a question without notice. Who do you see as the second most important player for the Adelaide 36ers? Because I have my opinion, and I'd love to see the player I tell you shortly to get more involved in this second half. But who is it for you moving forward? If Bryce is having a quiet game or if he's getting double teamed, who do you want to see get more involved?
I think it's Zylan Cheatham for myself. And his ability, he's played a really unselfish role this year for the Adelaide 36ers. He's got the ability to have bigger offensive games if he wants to. I think he makes really smart reads out of the short roll as well. So for me, he's the guy that needs to step up.
Well, mine's Humphries. I thought for the first quarter of the season that between he and Bryce, we're probably going to see two 36ers players in the first team All-NBL. And then for whatever reason, they've gone away from him at times, not necessarily involved in as many pick-and-roll situations as we saw in the first quarter. To see Benny Henschel go down and stay down.
He's holding his wrist, I think. Well, no, he was holding his wrist, so... JLA was called for the foul. We've got to play it down. Referees haven't seen it as yet, so Humphries is keen to have a few shots. Maybe it was just a knock to the... Just reaching in there. And then he sort of held his wrist for a bit, but maybe it was the lower part of his body that he was actually holding on to. As Humphries goes to the line, gets the first.
Well, there's a man who's broken his wrist 4 times, 3 from basketball, 1 from actually falling off a horse. He did see his wrist get caught behind his back there, so it's good to see him back out there, although he still is grabbing it while these free throws are taking place.
He's still in a bit of pain, isn't he? So we'll keep an eye on Ben Henschel.
And it's typically not a good sign. Like you, Damo, broke my wrist playing game, not falling off a horse. But when you do that, you think you can continue to play for a little bit because it is the referring pain at the back of your wrist that you're looking at. So
JLA's got 4 fouls now, so there's a lot of frustration from him as he heads to the bench.
And that's big because we know David Aquera's not playing for the rest of the game as well. And so, you know, Perth Wildcats probably reduced themselves in size, which actually matches up with Adelaide now, especially when Isaac Humphries comes off the court.
55-37 the score. Here's Humphries up against Wagstaff. He did that well. It'll be a good matchup for Adelaide if they can get it in there. He's got too much height on that occasion.
Yeah, keep going back to the well. It does not matter which Wildcats defender is on Humphries. Just keep rolling it in. He's got the advantage with size and strength right now.
Wagstaff a bit of a fumble. Now he puts it on the floor and takes on Humphries, and there'll be a foul there. He's having a game. 16 points that margin, 6:22 remaining before three-quarter time. As I said, JLA off with 4 fouls, and Henschel will come off, and we'll just see if the medicos go to him in that wrist. He's given a little low 5, so he should be okay.
5s on both sides basically means he's okay.
He's okay.
Because if you,
Thank you, doctors.
If something hurts, you don't want someone giving you a 5.
Not giving him a 5.
No.
Yeah. So 20 points for Elijah Pepper, 10 to Jesse Wagstaff. They're the leading scorers at the moment for Perth. And then a real spread. Vukocevic with 9. Jesse up to 11 now. 8 for Flynn Cameron. And then 5 and 5 for Humphries and Vasiljevic. Cheatham on 8. Lots of heavy work going on between Wagstaff and Humphries. There's another big basket. Isaac White liked it from out there. Slotted it in. Pepper, free. Duke Jr. Wagstaff's pass was a good one, but wasn't read well by Duke, and then the Duke slides along the baseline for a 2.
Well, Damo, you and I spoke about it, the speed of David Duke and what he's able to play as he forces a turnover here as well. But the speed, it's right up there in the NBL. Everyone came in, and when we first watched him, we were like, yeah, he's going to be a great player, but his speed has really caught everyone off guard.
Is he better now coming off the bench? Would you stick to this rotation of Henschel starting and Duke Jr. coming off the bench, or is he a starter?
It's not a Benny Henschel thing. They brought in David Duke Jr. to be a starting point guard, and I think going forward, that's exactly where we'll see him.
I agree. That being said, it's not who starts the game, it's who finishes the game, and I think we'll see him finishing the game a lot of the times for this Wildcats outfit.
Pepper slots another 2. Can't be stopped at the moment. He's up to 22. Here's the double team. Wagstaff nearly stole it. Cheatham found an opening, and then Jesse went in and made sure he didn't score on that occasion.
Well, the foul was about as subtle as a velvet sledgehammer on that one.
Bit of a smile on the dial as well. And of course, the Harlem Globetrotters, 100 years of thrills, 100 years of laughs and of joy. We look forward to seeing them come to town. The Harlem Globetrotters are coming to your city. This is your only chance to be part of the Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour across Australia and New Zealand. Don't miss your chance to be part of it. It is, of course, a great opportunity to go and see them in action. Tickets available now, so get them. 61-43. Cheatham a little short on that one. Doolittle to Wagstaff. Wants to give it off to Windler. Pepper shooting. How high did Cheatham jump on that occasion? Could have touched the roof, he was that high. Vukocevic, DJ, little two-man game, and a charging foul. Jesse draws it.
We're going to get a challenge straight away from Mike Wells. I'm not even sure he consulted the video guy on this one.
I think they might be unsuccessful with this. I want to have another look at it, but I think he is outside the charge circle. But even the follow-on afterwards might be enough to result in the offensive foul.
Well, I don't think it's going to be a question of if it's inside the charge circle or not, but it's the movement going left.
Sideways movement.
That is going to undo Jesse. And for me, this is a successful challenge because Jesse's still moving to the left to create contact there. And he just hasn't quite got him down the middle of the chest.
Yeah, you feel like just moving across the side there. Okay.
But what do we know about basketball?
There we go, 61-43.
Oh, I might as well head down to Chris Anstey's pub at the Trentham Hotel and join the chook raffle because I just don't know.
Is there any concern at all for Adelaide from this game? If they get beaten by 20, 30 points, can that affect them?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, they're getting beaten at the moment by the Wildcats, and obviously they've got no Bryce Cotton, but Windler hasn't got on the score sheet. Doolittle's got 4 points. Joe Luala-Chill's got 8, but has missed a heap of shots. They're relying on one player at the moment, and there's the Jesse chant going up.
I'm telling you, the MVP chant's coming.
Guys, this isn't a tongue-in-cheek, you know, the crowd cheering Jesse. They legitimately appreciate what their veteran has brought to the game tonight in what is such an important one for the Wildcats.
He's full of confidence at the moment. Adelaide Bailey on the court side, he's playing nearly as well as you in this finals campaign for the WNBL.
Oh, we are wearing the same number, so
very true. Yeah.
No, look, there was just a bit of chat between Jesse and John really about reminding him that he has 3 fouls and there is foul trouble in that forward position. He said, love the charge, but maybe be careful about picking up another one.
Don't stand in the way next time, Adelaide. Are you excited about the grand final series? While we just have a look at the score, 61-43. Your grand final series, Annalie, you ready to go?
Oh, absolutely. I'm so happy we got it done in 2. Let's hopefully just another 2 for the next
Who are you going to
games.
play? Who's the team, do you think?
Oh, we don't know. Come on.
I know you don't know, but who do you think you'll play?
I'm not that silly to say that I know who's going to win the game of basketball. Whoever shows up and plays better.
Oh, dear.
I dare you to say Townsville just so Kayla George can come after you.
She said Townsville cannot beat us.
That's not what I said, and I've never said that. No one put those words in my mouth. Demo's lying.
Bendy Who was the other comment she made.
And do you know a Kesha song at all? Kesha,
no.
of course, will keep you out maybe of the stadium if it pans out that way.
Oh, are you looking at me like you know the Kesha song?
I do,
Are you going to start singing one for me?
Yeah, tick-tock. I don't really know the words, but I know that's her song.
Oh, some would argue you don't know the words nor the song, though.
Here's Wagstaff to Pepper. Will he shoot? No, decides to take on the big man. He's in control of his game. Look at Wagstaff! Jesse with another 2. 63-44. Isaac White guards him in the corner. Harris shoots and scores. He's a nice shooter, Michael Harris. Don't you worry about that.
I was watching him warm up, and he may have made 15 or 20 threes in a row. He's an incredible three-point shooter, and it's good to see him out there getting an opportunity against his former team.
Here's Doolittle in the corner. Very firm on the shots. Ball's loose again. Pepper's charging down the courts. Wagstaff wants a rest. Hoofter's probably going to come that way. Juke Jr. for 3. Not a lot of offense being run at the moment from these two teams. They're just winding down their season. Adelaide have got a big one on Sunday, then a big finals campaign. Can they claim the title? It'll be a great story. As you said, I think you summed them up as a bit of a basket case for a couple of years, but they've turned it around, haven't they? And a lot of credit goes to management and what they've done this year. The players have all bought in.
I saw Matt Weston earlier, and he's sitting with Andrew Vlahoff, enjoying the game at the moment. And look, Matty's done a fantastic job since he's come into the role and what he's been able to bring. And even if you look at last year, like, he was part of the reason that KD and Montrezl Harrell came to the Adelaide 36ers. So made him a bit more of a destination club again, which is a huge credit to him. And now, look, and they've got the pieces there if they can put it together at the right time. But they've just faltered in the last 2 months.
Doolittle draws some contact. That one firm. So the Cats are only leading by 13 at the moment. Jalawala-Chul's got 4 fouls. Kenyon's going to take his way towards the hoop. There's maybe a foul in there and a travel as well. As Cameron's shot was a little firm. That'll come off a Wildcat's head. It'll be an Adelaide ball.
We mentioned Andrew Vlahov's in attendance tonight, and if you look up there, you'll see Trevor Gleeson also in attendance. And I'll catch up with him over the weekend, but I will be asking him how close was he in Japan, where he's currently coaching, to securing the services of Bryce Cotton, because that is where I thought BC was off to when he was leaving the Wildcats, but instead we're fortunate enough to see him still here in the NBL.
So 63-50 is the score. Perth are going to challenge this one. Challenging the out of bounds. So the video guy, he's always under the pump when John Riley's around. So they'll need more from Dylan Windler if they're going to go a long way in this finals campaign. He still sits on no points. He's 0 of 2 from... He's only had 2 shots as well, Damo, as we take a look here. Did it come out of Duke Jr.'s hands in the end?
I'm staying out of this one.
No, you're at the chook raffle. You just...
Well, Junior certainly touches and gets it out of Cameron's hand, but does it touch Cameron's right elbow on the way through?
Duke hits it.
Or shoulder.
Yeah, maybe the shoulder, but that's not a great angle.
Well, it looks like Duke Junior's pushing more towards the sideline, not the baseline, so it might have been deflected off Cameron.
So this might show us.
Yeah, that's off his shoulder. Well, you're back in.
Oh, you're back
He's
in.
back.
The beer's strong at the pub then, isn't it? Oh dear, so unsuccessful challenge, 63-50 that score.
Can we go ask someone in the truck what's happening?
You're just
can,
wrong,
mate. Can we get explanation?
No, you're just wrong.
Yeah, fair enough.
Came out of the hands, Duke Jr. and over the courts. Still 13 points, still a chance. Cats fans will remember the comeback from Adelaide earlier this season. And now it's back to 11, so some nervous times for Perth and their fans. The double team's good. Pass underneath, hooked up, couldn't trap it.
And look at this lineup that the 36ers have gone with. Similar to when they did come back from 25 the last time they met. They've gone small ball, applying pressure and playing with confidence at the offensive end. Can they come up with another stop as they bring it into single digits?
They certainly have. 63-54. Perth needing a win to secure themselves in 4th spot. Duke Jr. passing. A shot short from Sunday Ditch. A few up and downs and no scores from the team in red. Crowd's gone a little quiet. They've got long memories. Here's Cameron. He was the destroyer in that game in particular. He shoots the 3, but it'll be after the foul that was called on the post. Hoofton was called for that. Jesse Wagstaff back into the game and Pepper as well. So a bit of firepower for...
Well, they've gone to the 2 Wildcats players who have been their best tonight. John really not liking what he's seen over the last couple of minutes with this Adelaide resurgence.
And unfortunately for Cam, he did all the hard work with that. He just accentuated the contact a little bit more. And then Vukocevic, I played in Serbia. It's tough at the best of times without the theatrics. He just made sure that the referee saw exactly what was happening down in the low post.
So a couple of baskets there, and this is nice and intriguing now. 7 points now. Is that margin, Damo?
No, we've got ourselves a ball game. I'm loving the energy that Adelaide are playing with because they got down 19 and instead they've lifted the full court pressure defense. They're really getting after it and they're asking the Wildcats some questions.
Here's Windler to Wagstaff. Not a lot of system at the moment for the Wildcats. In the end, straight down to Wagstaff, and he was fouled and shoved over, but that might have been a block.
If they had the coach's challenge, I think they'd like to use it now.
Yeah.
They don't have it, so we'll be seeing some free throws.
He jumped into him, so that was the explanation. So the block was there, but a bit of body contact. And Wagstaff to the line. He sits on 13 points. Season high for Jesse.
If it makes this, we're on track for a Jesse 20-piece tonight.
Yeah. We'll have to go back into the record books. Last time he scored 20 in a game. (65-56). Under a minute to go. Lots of body contact there. Vukocevic receives it up against Wagstaff. And it came out of his hands. Did anyone touch it? It was maybe...
Yeah, Wagstaff stripped him. He was falling down. They've already had a flop warning. I've got a feeling if he didn't get this steal, it could have led to a technical foul, but instead he got a hand on it.
Oh, he just got a hand in there, didn't he?
I think he was more off balance from The little shimmy he was given more than anything.
Cheatham charges in, doesn't receive it. Rasmussen's there as well. Cheatham sets his feet, sends it on its way. Over the top was Windler, but he passed it straight to the Adelaide 36er. And the 2 points were scored by Rasmussen.
And it's a cardinal sin if you're underneath your defensive basket to throw it, keep it in bounds and throw it directly underneath your hoop.
Still 7 points.
Foul to give.
Great fight back by Adelaide. And Damo mentioned it before, the last time when they came back from 25 down, they went to their bench and just played with freedom, and it worked for them.
Yep.
Can they do it again? Another dagger to the Wildcats' hearts as they try and secure 4th spot. Wagstaff. This will probably go in, no way. Little shorts. And the defense was superb. Rakocevic is up and about. Adelaide are in this game once again. They're putting the heat on their arch rivals. 65-58 the score. Welcome back to the NBL Morteen Magic Moment. Well, it goes to one man in particular. His name is Jesse Wagstaff, having a terrific game. Look at him working hard under the hoop. He's got the 15 points to his name. He's been brilliant at both ends of the court. In front of 13,574, Jesse's got the Morteen Magic Moment. And of course, the last time he scored 20 or more in a game was back in 2018. Damien Martin, you were playing back then as well. Surprised you didn't remember it, but anyway, it was all about you back then. Here it is, Joe Luala-Chul straight away with a 2. He's been sitting with 4 fouls. Fast break though. And Wagstaff last scored 14 in December of 2023 against the Kings. The Cats actually go pretty well when Jess scores 14 or more. They won their last 17 games straight when he scores 14 or more. So it's good signs, but they've still got some work to do here. Annalie Bailey was listening into Adelaide as Pepper slides one to Big Joe again.
They wouldn't be happy with this start. I'll tell you what, the main focus of that three-quarter time break was defense and defensive intensity, and to come out and give up 2 layups was definitely not what they were looking for.
Flynn Cameron shooting off target. And that came off Henschel. So I asked the question before about whether Adelaide got whacked, would it affect their confidence? You said no. If Perth sneak over the line here against a team that's played a lot of their bench throughout the game and no Bryce Cotton, is there concerns that they can have any impact at all in the playoffs?
No, with the FIBA break coming up, they're going to enjoy a bit of rest, get their bodies right, and start focusing on who their opponent may be in a couple of weeks' time. As I say, Adelaide attack the basket and hopefully knock down a couple of freebies here.
So Wagstaff is called for that one. He's got 4 to his name. So Joe's got 4, Wagstaff's got 4, and David Aquera is out of the game with plantar fasciitis. Or symptoms of. Have you had that?
Yes, it is not fun to play with whatsoever.
Did you do the Robert Harvey and jump off the table just to snap it so it would repair quicker?
I didn't, but if he's listening, good friend of ours, were they, Adam Gibson, I believe he did intentionally snap his so he could play through the remainder of the season.
So he kept on playing after snapping it?
Yeah, he intentionally, I believe he did whatever it took to snap it, so he could keep playing.
What a tough man.
He is.
So 9 points the margin. Played for the Adelaide 36ers, Adam Gibson. Central now to Wagstaff, to Doolittle. To Pepper, to JLA. Puts it on the floor, being nice and aggressive. Can't make it go, though, on that occasion. He doesn't want to foul because he's only got 1 to spare. As Harris is standing waiting at the other end. I couldn't get it to him. Rest were happy. They got it over in time. White double teamed. Rakocevic sets the feet, sinks the baskets. 6 points is the margin. Fans have gone quiet here. Music's pumped up a bit to get them going. Adelaide, could they do it again? Pass inside. Joe Luala-Chul stripped out of his hands. Harris, Rasmussen on the break, takes it for 2. Another basket for Adelaide. And the boys are up and about. It's 4 points now, the margin, 7:44 remaining. Amy replay. Have a look at this one, Wortho.
Well, Whitey draws the 2. And Rakocevic, this is what he's been brought in to do, is to be able to stretch the floor as a big. And he's had a great game tonight. Down the other end, Rasmussen, a little razzle-dazzle, if you like, and
great take, finishes through the keyway.
Well, this is big now. Got a game on their hands. United and their fans sitting there cheering on Adelaide. Doolittle in trouble. A loose pass again, and referees will confer here as to whose ball it might be.
Kenyon's trying to sell it. He's trying to say it came off JLA after he deflected it.
No, it'll be a Wildcats ball straight away, the call.
We talked about what this would do for the psyche of the Wildcats if they were to squeak out a win. What would it do if they were to lose this game more to the point?
Against a team with nothing really to play for, as JLA slots into 2.
And I've got to stop you there, like it's one of my most frustrating things to hear in sport when they say nothing to play for. There's a reason these athletes are playing at the highest level here in Australia. There's always something to play for, regardless if it doesn't affect the ladder.
The players on the court, yep, absolutely. As Henschel takes the board, 6 points. A little bit out of control. There'll be a foul there. No score.
Smart foul. That was going to be an easy 2.
Rasmussen called for that foul, and David Duke Jr. just a little sore in the arm. Of course, he injured that elbow back against Adelaide in late December.
And I tend to agree with John Riley here. He picked up the ball. This should be 2 shots, and instead they're giving it to him on the sideline now. I know that's a rule in America, but in the NBL, once you pick up the ball, once the whistle's blown, that's 2 shots.
The pass was a loose one again by Joe Luala-Chul. They've been rattled again, Perth. Rasmussen with it. Kenyon. Rakocevic. The handoff to White, 7 on the shot clock. He's up against Doolittle. Good speed. Kenyon under pressure. Oh, the little man scores the baskets. Inspirational. We're going on about Jesse and how good he's been. White's been terrific. As Pepper finally misses one. Henschel to Doolittle now. 9 on the shot clock. Up against Harris. Former teammates. David Duke Jr., that was off. He fights hard for it, but Rikocevic keeps it alive.
Their one-on-one defense, all 5 players for Adelaide 36ers, has been incredible to start this fourth quarter.
And this man's speed is really upsetting the Cats at the moment as Harris bombs away. It's 4 points at the moment, got out to 19. Doolittle drawing the foul on Kenyon. It was smart play from the big do. He'll go to the line for 2 more shots.
Well, we're standing right behind that Damo, and I'm still not sure how Ruben Woodcock did not make that call in the first place, because the only intention was to try and foul him, to stop him earlier, and heads-up play by Doolittle to be able to absorb the contact, pick up the ball, and be able to get to the line for 2. But this place, Damo, I know this is an opposing player. You come in here and you can get it tight towards the end of the game. That's sort of what you want as an opposition player, because you know that this crowd, as you hear the groans, it can weigh on the players on the Wildcat side a little bit. So what Adelaide's been able to do here has been sensational.
They can go quiet, can't they? And they can groan a lot because they're so used to winning, and when it's not going their way...
It didn't happen very often, I might say, when we were playing, but...
It does put a bit of pressure on the team. So, and there's a lot on them at the moment, 5 points. And as we said, a win here for the Cats. They stay in the top 4. They lose, and they lose by more than about 8. And United can take their position. White looks to Cheatham. Good hands though from Doolittle. They needed that, the Cats, to ease that pressure. Henschel. Aggressive passes, Wagstaff. Wasn't ready to shoot on that occasion. Doolittle sees White. And now the lob pass to Wagstaff. Look at him go. Another 2 for Jesse, up to 17. Still a ball game here. Big swat. Maybe a roll on here for Perth. Adelaide have got to stand firm. Wagstaff. Under pressure, gives it to Pepper. Wags will need another sub in a moment. He's going to look to the bench. So 74-67 is that score. Still plenty of time for Adelaide to steal this one. Their second half has been superb. Doolittle. Mitchell travelled as he grabbed hold of the ball, then shoots away. Wagstaff with a rebound. Duke Jr. couldn't control it. Doolittle. Too strong. Rikocevic. Wagstaff can't afford to foul, so the basket will be scored.
Nice take by Rikocevic. Straight into the body of Jesse, and you're right, he couldn't afford to foul, so identifying that, making a smart heads-up play.
He's got the 4 fouls to his name. No troubles at the moment for Adelaide. A couple got on 3, but Galloway with Chills on 4 as well. Look at Jesse again. Surely he couldn't score that. He's exhausted. He's struggling to get up the court as Pepper has drawn the charge. The Amy replay. He's had a good game. Standing in the way, Elijah Pepper. With his 22 points, he gets himself a nice charge at an important stage of the game.
Well, this is what we were talking about during the halftime chat, is his ability and his want to play defense this season. And this is what's represented him getting into the Australian team, in my opinion. Yep. We knew that he can score the ball. He's put on an absolute clinic in the first half of that. But it's these little moments, deflections, taking charges, all that has made me a believer in what Elijah Pepper does this season.
So no sub for Wagstaff. He's got to continue on.
Well, he's worked harder than a one-arm brickie. He's exhausted out there, but he's put on an incredible display.
That'll be a foul on Kenyon. Screen set by Wagstaff. He's impacted everywhere. And there'll be shots.
Well, he called for a 20-piece, knocks down both of these, and that'll take him to 19.
Is that his pants falling down, or has he just got right down? No,
He's lost 5 kilos. He's lost 5 kilos in this game.
Right. So Wags will go to the line.
These are small things as a veteran that you just can't teach. And understanding the foul count, understanding when to accentuate the contact.
He misses that one.
And taking long walks in between free throw lines to get your breath. We're seeing it all from Jesse as far as his veteran play today.
So my good buddy Goss, Tim Gossich, he, when I said, when's the last time he scored 20 points, quick onto the chat GPT, the old Gosser. He's up with the technology. 18th of February 2018. 20 points against the Adelaide 36ers.
Listen to this ovation as he goes to the bench. We heard it in the first half, we've heard it in the second half.
6 points that margin. Jenkins, haven't seen a lot of him, but he comes on and nails it free.
That is a massive shot.
Wow. 3 minutes remaining. Can Adelaide do it again? Duke Jr., there is the speed. Got underneath the rack and scored it. Isaac White been superb in the absence of Bryce Cotton, getting lots of minutes, scoring baskets as well. He's got the 10 to his name, 16 Rakocevic, 10 to Cameron. Jenkins, as I said, he's come on to be the sharpshooter. That one won't go. He's got 5 to his name. Big Joe's back on the court, 2 for the Cats. Duke Jr. gives it to Joe. And another 2 goes the Wildcats' way. And Joe Luala chills up and about.
Well, this is off the back of David Duke Jr. for my liking, and what he's brought to the game, a little change of pace, a change of speed. He's got a beautiful shot, but his ability to get to the rim is amazing.
Absolutely. 79-72 is the score. Tangerine timeout. Spread of scorers for the Perth Wildcats. Elijah Pepper with 22 points, 16 to JLA, 18 to Jesse Wagstaff, and 11 to David Duke Jr. As we said, Benny Henschel yet to score, Winley yet to score, so some of the bigger names also battling a touch, and then 16 to Rakocevic. He's had a terrific game. Good to see him get a few minutes ahead of the finals campaign. 10 to Isaac White and 10 to Flynn Cameron. And Cheatham has the 11 as well.
Who are you going to out of this timeout, were they? You've got the whiteboard in hand. You're drawing up a play right now for the Adelaide 36ers.
I'm probably going to go back to John Jenkins. I think for me, his shooting ability has been fantastic. And if they can draw up a play where he can get a good look, he'd be the guy I'd go to.
Seven points to margin, 2 remaining in this game. Annalie Maley, you were listening in to John Riley. What do you have to say?
A lot of drawing up plays, but the main message was take care of the damn ball. He said, we only lose this game if we start throwing silly passes and making bad decisions.
Nearly a backdoor there for Jenkins. Running off a few screens. They want to get it in his hands. You've read it well, boys. Rakocevic, though, being one of the better players for Adelaide. Gets the rebound himself and puts it in off the glass.
He has been super impressive for the 36ers. He just wants the ball. He's demanding the ball. The play may not have been drawn up for him, but when that went out the window, he said, I'll take care of it from here. As another great dime to JLA.
JLA scores another 2. He's enjoying himself now after a rough start to his game. 81-74 the score, and he goes to the line.
He gets out of that on-ball screen so quickly that it makes it hard for the help defense to get far enough across to take away that layup.
But I think when they go to an open side screen with JLA a lot of the times, you've got to pick your poison with it, and when he gets that sort of speed downhill and you can thread the needle with it, it becomes really hard for the defense to stop, even to come from a weak side position to help.
Now to 8, was it 19? Got within 3. Adelaide need to score here, and it was on the floor. The foul was called. Jenkins was shooting, but must have been just before it, so it'll be an inbound for Adelaide from the baseline.
Oh, I thought he was setting up to go straight into that pull-up. And now it's going to be a sideline out of bounds. Let's see if they can get
a bit of confusion there. It was called straight away, though. There was no hesitation. Oh, and a push-off. Rakocevic should be called for that one. An offensive foul. He just shoved JLA out the way. That was a little silly. And Mike Wells calls for a flop.
And that's Rakocevic's night done. He had 5 fouls. And he's been a big part of what they've been able to do this tonight to be competitive.
And he's staying on the court at the moment, but he hasn't realised as yet he's got the 5 fouls. And he'll head off now. Big Joe's revving up the fans. He wants to hear them right now. 82-74 the score. We've just got a bit of a pause in the game at the moment. We might tune in now as the refs explain themselves for this delay. No, maybe no explanation, just a pause. Big minute and a half for Perth now. Duke Jr. right in his face. They look inside, won't go. Doolittle up to JLA. No, he couldn't finish the play. Now in a minute, Adelaide need to score quickly. Keep the pressure on. They did do it. Pepper to Duke Jr. Rasmussen with him. He'll have to foul when he does. And the Duke will go to the line for a couple of shots.
Well, for me, not only do Perth walk away with a victory tonight, I think they like the matchup versus South East Melbourne as well. That's something that they would like, probably were aiming for coming into tonight's contest. And then you look at the two-week fever break. You've got Dylan Windler, who's been out for a little bit, that gets a bit more rest. Ben Henschel gets a bit more rest. Doolittle and JLA get to rest up a little bit. And they'll be liking this matchup versus South East Melbourne. The winner of that plays against Adelaide. And I think that's the biggest thing, because nobody wants to play the Sydney Kings right now. So this has been a big game in more ways than one, and now they've got a good break to rest up. Hopefully if you go mono to mono with South East Melbourne.
You mentioned you missed the one player who needs the 2 weeks. Jesse will need the 2 weeks to rest up as well.
Potential and Whittler with 0 points in this game.
I thought he was just going to get managed after the fever break.
It's out to 10. The fans are happy now. It's been a great fight back from Adelaide. I mean, pretty much they've thrown around their team, and it shows that even their bench has got some real spirit. They're going to be very handy at the important stage of the season.
Well, if that does end up being the matchup at some stage during the finals, as you mentioned, Werdo, that's twice they've now come to Perth. They've left with a win after being down by as many as 25. And whilst they may not take the win tonight, they should be full of confidence if they come back here to RAC Arena.
Kenyon shooting, Kenyon missing. And Doolittle will try and find JLA. He's going to dunk this. You can see it on his face. The big man has had a big final term just when his team needed it. JLA finished with 21 points. And the Wildcats will stay in the top 4. With the playoffs fast approaching, 86-74. There's a bit of talk now between the coaches, Riley and Wells. Well, so we might see that again. John Riley and Mike Wells.
Well, this is going to be
a few
JLA's
words
done, and this is a very much an American thing where they think it's showing the opposition up a little bit.
Yep.
For me, this is why we play basketball. You play to the final siren. If you're unhappy about it, then you should have played harder during the game. And full credit to Adelaide, they did play hard throughout the game, but we need to take that out of the game as far as I'm concerned.
Wow, so 86-74. Wells and Riley having a few words at the end of that game. JLA now having some words to Damo.
And JLA has made it clear that that was not a sign of disrespect after the game. So he wants to make it very clear that he's not trying to send a message to Adelaide or be disrespectful.
No.
That was just playing the game.
He said if we don't give Wags the Foot Locker player of the game, he's coming up for both of us.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
Oh, dear. I'm nervous. I am nervous.
I just want to say that Bryce is, sorry, Jesse's one Foot Locker player of the game.
86-74. Let's have a bit of a look. Here's John Riley. And I think Mike Wells, we might have just got it to the side of the screen. Let's have a look now. So just to the top right. So Wells having a real crack at Riley. And you would have to say, as you say, about that Jolo Alachul. And then kept on going. Did he go to Jolo after that?
He did. Yeah. And JLA, he stopped Bryce and he made it clear this was not supposed to be disrespectful to your team, but I love that he's come to the commentary booth and just made it clear who he believes was the best player tonight.
So there you go. We're going to have the presentation of the trophy. Big Paul Rogers is here, the Catalini Cup as well. So two champions of both these clubs. Look at Roger all dressed up for the occasion as well. Comes out in his best attire. And the Cat, he's just slid through the doors as well. Pretty cash, these two boys.
Well, they got the memo.
Yeah, just both got
jean
the shorts
and a casual tee in front of 13,500.
That's right. So Martin Cannellini, superstar of the NBL. So too Paul Rogers, winner of the MVP title. It's a Wildcat back in 2000, but both boys stellar careers at both these clubs. So the Rogers medal. Who wins the Rogers medal?
Jesse Wagstaff. Jesse Wagstaff.
Yes. You're only scared.
No, I do mean that. He's deserving of it. Elijah Pepper was great for the 40 minutes. JLA had an incredible fourth quarter, but from start to finish and what really got the momentum going for the Wildcats was Wagstaff subbing in.
Paul Rogers has selected the best player. Jesse Wagstaff. Wags wins it. It was a terrific game, though, from Jesse Wagstaff. We went on about it, but it was 18 points to the veteran. He had 7 rebounds as well and 1 assist. It was a terrific performance. He also gets the Catalini Cup as well. He's had a good night.
He has, and former teammates there as well. Jesse did play alongside Martin Catalini and Paul Rogers back in 2009, 2010 when they won a championship together. A few laughs shared out there on the court as well.
Didn't he play with Cal Burton as well?
I think he might have just missed Cal, didn't he? He was 94, didn't he start? Catalini.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
No, I think you're saying Jesse played with Cal.
Jesse did. I thought Catalini. There you go, 86-74. The two superstars will make their way off the court in Catalini and Rogers. Adelaide have departed as well. There's a lot of frustration just looking at Adelaide walking off there. I think they were really, really disappointed with that final dunk. And I'll be intrigued to go into that press conference later on. Let's go to Adelaide, who's got the MVP of the night.
I am with the undisputed MVP of the night, all 13,000 here to see you. Well, that's what you were playing like. What did it feel like out there tonight?
Look, I think we always get well supported here, so it's great to have a great crowd for the last game of the season, and it's good to end on a win.
So I want to ask you about the start of the game. Obviously, it wasn't the way that you guys wanted to start. You came in and you brought the instant energy. What were the words you were saying to your team in that moment?
No, look, it wasn't the start, but, you know, I think we still had decent energy. Right? I think we had some really good looks and they don't fall, so often I think the scoreboard doesn't reflect where the game is at, and that's okay, but we're lucky to get some stops and some O-boards and peg it back.
And that was a must-win game for you guys to keep that top 4 spot. Was that pressure kind of building up throughout the week, or you were just going out there, approaching that game like every other one?
Nah, look, it sounds super cliche, and it is super cliche, but you kind of just got to worry about yourself at this time of year. You know, we kind of know our identity, and you got to stick with that. They're a really good team, even without BC. They're obviously well coached, and they got some damn good personnel, so we knew it was going to be battle regardless.
Well, that was a great game for you. Even even though you asked for a couple subs that you didn't get. What was the thought process when you put your hand up asking to come out and really turned around and said, no, stay out there?
I get a foul, so he has to sub me out.
All right, best of luck. Thanks. Good job.
Well done, Jesse Wagstaff, playing game 536 tonight. Wagstaff's first time playing 20 minutes this season, and he scored himself a heap of baskets, 18 in the end, 7 rebounds. He was the MVP. The Wildcats winners by 12. Plenty to talk about, 86-74. Entertaining game of basketball here in Perth. Joe Luala-Chul finished his game off in absolute style. He started sluggishly, and there's Mike Wells having a chat to him about that final dunk. He also had a piece of John Rillie as well, so plenty of tension as we get set for a playoff campaign. And of course, there's the ladder, gents. Wildcats just sneak in over United after quite an amazing thing. That United started their season undefeated and were looking like they'll never lose a game of basketball.
What another incredible regular season that we've been spoiled with. Now bring on the finals, but before we even get there, we've got a lot of money to be played for in a couple of days' time. But tonight speaks volumes to how it's been all season, but we finally know what the matchups are going to be in the road to the championship.
So there you go, it's knockout for United, and of course the Jack Jumpers were, though, and if you were saying that Phoenix and the Cats, you think the Cats wouldn't mind taking them on?
Yeah, it's a good matchup for them, and we've seen it not too long ago that they played really well against Southeast Melbourne. I think Melbourne would be quietly just a little bit scared playing against the Jackies in a one-off game, but they've been hit by injuries. But I think most teams at this stage just want to avoid the Sydney Kings.
So there it is, the seeding qualifier. It is the Phoenix versus the Perth Wildcats, and the play-in, do or die for United and the Jack Jumpers. Our thoughts, Damo, at the moment, just who do you think will move on to the next stage?
Oh, home court advantage is absolutely massive. We heard 13,500 really get behind the Red Army here tonight, but Southeast do have that home court advantage, so I think they'll take care of business. And then you mentioned the Jackies, you know, on their night, they can beat absolutely anyone, but I think Melbourne United, off the back of yesterday's performance against Southeast, I think they'll take care of business on the Thursday.
Two big games in Melbourne, looking forward to that, but the big one is on the Gold Coast. So there's Keanu Pinder, so good to see him with Nick Natanui. But on the Gold Coast, the Ignite Cup, Adelaide back in action, were they on Sunday. This is going to be a beauty against New Zealand, and a fair bit of cash up for grabs.
Well, when you put money on the line, everyone plays it just a little bit harder, and I think Bryce Cotton comes back to this game. New Zealand have been playing a really good brand of basketball in the back end of the season. It's going to be a fascinating game. We're
looking forward to it, no doubt about that. It's going to be an intriguing finish to the season, and of course the playoffs and the play-ins are not too far away, so we are pumped to see all these teams back in action. Short little break and then we're back into basketball after Sunday. Hope you enjoyed tonight's game. It was a beauty in the end. It was the Cats who got the Chockies. They got the win over Adelaide, who were undermanned. There was no Bryce Cotton. He'll be back though when the real stuff gets underway.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jack's and Bunnings Warehouse.